Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Kinda Hot, Kinda Healthy. It is Valentine's Day, but which when we're recording, when you guys get this, it'll, not be Valentine's Day. But more importantly, when you guys hear this, it will have just been Maddie's birthday, which that is exciting. And I love how
hmm
when we talk, like when we record a little bit early, we're talking in the future, but then you're listening to it in the past. And so if you guys haven't wished her a happy birthday, it's not too late. Everybody loves a belated birthday wish because
Love it.
love
Love
it.
it.
Like I don't care if it's like a month late. If someone's like, "Oh, I haven't seen you, but happy birthday." I'm like, "Thank you." Like bring it back to me. But oh man, we've talked about this I think in like the earlier February episodes, but I always like to get super introspective like around my birthday and like what do I want to accomplish? What's the word of the year? Because you're going into a new year, you're going into your not a 29th, correct? Circle around the
Yeah.
sun. Is that
Yep.
what they say? Circle around the sun? Yeah, circle around the
Yeah.
sun. Yep,
Yeah.
confused for a second. What do you want out of this year? Like where is Maddie going to be within this next year? And that's a heavy hitter question right at the top. I'm aware of that, but I'm pushing you to have something.
Oh, well, one day I'll talk about everything. That day
You
is
could
not
you could you
today.
could say a word. You could say what is the word of your 29th year around the sun?
Hmm. I wish I had more time to think.
Yeah,
Damn you.
well,
Um,
thinking is just slows you down.
well, for people like me, yes. Um, I I don't know particularly. It's funny because we were talking about this last night, messaging. Like, I'm a highly reactive person. So I think one of the things I really have been honing in on, just in general, before thinking about this really in depth question you have just shoved on me, is not being reactive to things.
Mm,
And that can just be like in so many different ways, like something you see on the news and you're not getting allowing it to affect you. It could be someone who knows how to push your buttons and you not let it affect you. It could be maybe if you like step on the scale and you're like, not letting it
yeah,
affect you. Like I just want to really focus on whether it's like, I don't know, like there's a right, like the perfect phrase for it, but being non-reactive and not
mm,
allowing outside things to like truly like knock me off from my life goals, my health goals, my entrepreneurial goals. Like I feel like that's like honestly like the thing is like what I need
yeah,
because I get very in my head and like the amount of times I've talked to like numerous like my health coach, my business coach, and they're like you're reaching for control and
mm,
reacting and creating chaos in your mind when in reality like there isn't chaos happening. So that is I think that really is my thing for this year.
I love that. For you and just like knowing you, that seems appropriate and it will be challenging. But
Mhm.
I think that that's a good thing. Like if something is just super easy to obtain, then it's like, okay, well then I would have already done it. Like it would already be a thing and that's like a safe answer. But doing something and like putting out there something that like will be challenging on a lot of different levels, I like because it keeps you grounded to like who you want to be and what you want to have come out of the year. Because I always look at like
Mhm.
birthdays as almost like, I mean, obviously it is a start of a new year for you, right?
Mhm.
Technically, because you're another year older. But I look at it as like a second New Year's, right? I'm like, what can I actually
Mm.
put into place? And I think about it a little bit differently. Like I don't think about necessarily financial goals or health goals, but I think about like, okay, who do I want to become as a person? What do I want to accomplish in my personal life? Like, what are the things that are going to help me grow and make me a better individual? And
Mhm.
like, what can I enjoy more? What do I want to do more
Mhm.
of? So I love it. We'll do a 6 month recap for you.
Ooh, I like
February,
that.
March, April, May, June, July, August. We'll hit a recap for you in August and see
Mhm.
where 6 months, where will Maddie be? And that'll be really interesting. And I would like to do
Yeah,
that
and
for myself too. That sounds like a fun thing we're adding in.
I know, I like that. And I was even thinking like, you were saying like you don't think of it in terms of like money or work or this, and I'm like, I just think about how much, I hate to say control, but how much when I work on that muscle of not being
Yep.
reactive, how it's going to affect everything else. Because even
Yeah.
think about, let's say you get on the scale and the scale like went array and it went up and you're like, and you have this sense, oh my god, oh my god. So then
Mm.
what do you do to self-soothe? You scroll. You dissociate while you scroll. You maybe go and eat some like foods that give you a rush of like something tastes good, or you go and get angry at someone, right? So
Or
it's
you
like,
self-sabotage and you're like, well, the scale's up,
yes,
so I might as well shoot myself in the foot. Like that's
yes,
another form of the reactivity, right? Sometimes you might be
yeah,
passive and then sometimes you're active and
yes. So
yeah.
it's not so much of just like I see how these things play out. Like I know like there are many times where I have a negative thought and
Yeah.
then I will literally go and scroll and to forget about the
Oh
thought. And
yeah. Mm-hmm.
so many times. And
Yup.
instead of sitting with the thought and then thinking, okay, that's an interesting thought, we're just going to go away with it because it's not part of the plan. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, certainly. Like and it is so easy for us because we have grown up in a sense with like social media. Um or just access to the internet. Like at a very young age, like I was on Tumblr and I was like reposting these like crazy like drug pictures that I had like no idea what they were, but I was like, ooh, these are so like artsy and camp. Like I loved my Tumblr. I thought my friend's Tumblr was like the shit. I was like, this is literally the coolest thing ever. And then it evolves into like other forms of social media, and it's just really easy to default to that way of self-soothing. Um, and sometimes, I swear the universe knows what I need and it will like show me a video on my feed and it's like, you know what, I am a bad bitch and now I can stop and I can like get up and move on with my life. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, no, kind of similar. I weighed in earlier this week and I was ovulating and I know I go up like a pound or two when I'm ovulating. I'm just like a little bit more watery. Um, and the scale was a little bit elevated and I was like, that's annoying, but let me check where I'm at. I was like, yep, I knew I'm like close to ovulating. Like here we are. These are the vibes. This is what's happening. We're not going to freak the fuck out. We're going to put the data in the app because I'm gonna be accountable. Like, what am I gonna just weigh myself and then pretend like that number doesn't exist? Like, no, that would
Mhm,
be a little bit of self-sabotage. Um,
mhm.
and then I weighed myself today and I was down again another pound. Hello.
Hi. Olive has to make an entrance. It's
All the
fine.
puppies.
Uh, are you done? What are you doing? This is just a look into my life.
No, I'm gagged. I'm gagged. It's like, hello. Um, but
Uh,
I trusted the process because I looked at the data. I was like, okay, I've been tracking my food. I've been hitting my steps. I've been working out. I've been sleeping. I've been drinking my water. There is nothing that I'm doing that is in a bad way. And so then I also got to take a look at where are you at in your cycle? And then it just gives you the answer. Like I like to stay curious in those moments instead of just being like, what the fuck? Like, because that's really easy to be like, I'm working so hard. Why is the scale showing me this? This is bullshit. And then you want to like take a sledgehammer to your scale. Instead of doing that, I like to, especially to my clients, I'm like, look at the data. What are we seeing, right? Because the scale is like one freaking micro little piece of data. So I like the idea of working on reactivity. And we had a conversation last night where I worked on my reactivity and I did not get activated. I said,
you
bitch, you are zen. We're gonna keep it cool. We're gonna be in our own little world. And yeah,
yeah, you
progress.
kept it more zen than I would have thought. I freaking
Yeah,
Olive needs. Let me move this really quick because she's a nervous Nelly.
oh, does she want to sit on the bed? Probably. I also want to talk about on TikTok. This will be like a week or two old, but while Maddie is coming back, have you seen the anglerfish that came up from the bottom of the ocean?
I didn't watch the whole video, but it looked nasty. That's the one from
Na-
Finding Nemo, right?
she
What?
said nasty? You guys, I'm actually gagged. I was
Why?
going to say a beautiful story, a nasty
Oh,
anglerfish.
I oh, I didn't watch it.
Well, yeah, of course you didn't watch it. Okay, I can't find an angler. I don't even know how to spell it. Angler? Maybe. Let's see. Okay. No, it's not coming up, but I'm just gonna put a fish behind it so you
I
guys know what we're
found it.
talking about. Well, I don't know. How do you spell angler?
Wait, why'd you say beautiful?
Hold on, because I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a story. Stay with me, Madison. Don't rush through this.
Wait, should I watch it while
No,
you're
let me
talking?
tell you. How do you spell angler, though?
I don't know, but Angler, Angler.
Gler is not coming up. The AI virtual background does not have an anglerfish. What the
I
fuck?
will save the day as
Yeah,
per
Maddie,
usual.
please just show up an anglerfish. Let me put up the breaking news, you guys, because this one is for the empaths out there. You guys, I was crying. Can I be honest? I cried. Um,
What?
I was I was in bed scrolling last night. I was sending this video to my friend. Um, I think I might have sent it to Maddie. Oh, I did because I wanted to talk about it. I had a couple things that I wanted to talk about fish related.
Okay,
But you better
gotcha.
get that angler fish coming up because I'm about
It's
to
coming.
blow your mind. Okay, I'm opening the TikTok.
It's coming.
I'm gonna read you this.
There we
Okay.
go.
My
Wait,
God,
why am I right in front of it?
she's beautiful. Oh my God. Oh, guys, I'm gonna cry again. Okay. So if you guys don't know about the anglerfish, they are the ones in Finding Nemo, okay? They stay at the deepest depths of the bottom of the ocean. They have the little light on their head, right? So that like
Right there.
guides them around. That's what they see. Okay. This is the TikTok. Listen to the audio of it first.
I hear nothing.
You hear nothing? You hear it now? You have to hear it. I'm literally gonna tear
Oh,
up.
wait,
This is not.
wait. I started.
Do you hear?
Barely.
Okay. Anyways, I'm actually going like tears are welling in my eyes. Close your eyes and
Okay,
just imagine. What I'm
explain.
telling you right now. I'm telling you right now.
Okay,
Close your
okay.
eyes and just imagine for just 1 minute and be her. The feeling she had seeing a light other than her own and then leaving this world. Oh my God, this took me out. We will never know why she went to the top. Was she sick, scared, a bet? Or was she just lonely like most of us and had nothing to lose? Grief, the bravest thing I've ever seen.
So does she die when she goes to the
She
top?
died. Like, it's so beautiful. It's and then the comments, I was gagged from my last day. I think I'll go see the sun. Being an empath is the hardest thing when I open this app. Born in darkness and died in the light. How rare this is that the
Um,
fact that someone was able to capture it out of nowhere in the entire ocean, she was meant to be seen. Oh, I'm gonna send you this one. Oh my God.
Aw.
I'm not brave enough for this world, I tell you. I literally, I love her so much.
I'm only laughing because I consider myself an empath. For some reason, I'm just a cold black heart right now.
I whenever you are
Aw.
feeling uninspired, think of this absolute beauty who lived in darkness her entire life. She was her own cheerleader. She shined her brightest light, and in her last moments, she wasn't alone, and she let the sun shine on her. And that, man, that there is something so poetic about that. And like, shit, I'm gonna need to print a picture of this beautiful anglerfish and just put her in front of
Mm.
me on my work desk because are you kidding me? If she can do it, I can do it. Ugh, that's got me fucked up for
Aw.
days. I'm telling you. If you need to feel something, I just sent you the video. If you need to feel something, just watch that because the music, the vibe. Oh man, you guys, put in the comments below. Did that hit you or like, is there something wrong with me?
Can you hear this? laughing because of Allie.
Guys, she's such a bitch.
Oh.
But I'm sorry.
Uh,
You know what? I have faith in humanity when we can all come together and be so empathetic about our beautiful anglerfish. And I showed that to James this morning.
oh.
I cried again. Like I'm sobbing. Like my For You page is now like
No,
memorials to our anglerfish.
I totally understand. Like there's some stuff I watch and like I am tearing up. There's some stuff I watch and like it just fucking takes me out. Like I'm just like
Animals are
this.
so pure.
I cannot watch any movie that has any
No,
type of
no,
animal harm
no.
so much that I struggled watching Game of Thrones when a dragon died. Every time a dragon died, I was like, I can't.
Dead took me out. And then in friggin' House of the Dragon, they had the Dance of the Dragons, right? Like that's the war is starting. We are here. And frickin', oh my God, Maylee's literally falling from the sky, dying.
I know.
Tears. Tears. I
I
said,
know.
James, I'm not well. Like I cannot watch this if this is going
I
to keep
know.
happening. I
Um,
actually I'm unwell. Like I'm unwell watching little Jacaerys, and I believe Cyrex was his, I almost said dinosaur, was his dragon, get fucking blown to bits out of the sky. I was not well. I was not
oh,
well for
I
weeks.
know.
I was not well for weeks.
I know. I
In
know.
other animal news, I'm going to need you to change the background, okay?
What animal next?
A whale. Just do a fucking blue whale.
Whale.
All right? I'm going to show the video, you guys. So you need to go to the YouTube and I'm going to show it on the screen because absolutely gagged the house down. You guys, this was not even real. Like it's concerning. Um
My life is
how
concerning, but
yeah. Well, you know. Um so there was from CBS News. This is our news source. Yep, that is perfect. All right,
I
ready?
knew it was. I
Yep,
knew
all
it was.
right.
And I'm wearing blue.
You're
Perfect.
wearing blue. Okay. Can you frick? How do I
No,
put
there
it
we
behind
go.
it? Ready?
Oh yeah, I saw that. We need to superimpose that. I remember that.
Yeah, I will superimpose it because this is crazy. This
That
man,
was
you guys,
wild.
kayaking in the ocean. First of all, don't fucking kayak in the ocean after this. All right.
No,
Second of all,
never.
kayaking in the ocean, probably out pretty far. He, for a split second, and I say split second loosely because there is no split second, swallowed by a whale. It's in the whale's mouth.
I cannot
He
imagine.
was in the whale's mouth for a split second. What are you talking about? So scary.
Yeah.
He goes, I thought I died for a second. Bitch, me too. Like, can you imagine? And then the whale just like spits him out. And have you seen, you know that TikTok? It's like, brother,
Uh,
That's what people are commenting. But what the fuck? What are the odds?
that was wild.
I would never go in the ocean again.
I mean, this is why I say like I like the ocean, but at the same time, like I'm not going far out there.
Someone in the comments go, and this is why it's nice to enjoy the ocean from the shore.
You don't know what's in there. You
He
don't
didn't
know.
know the whale was like right under him, and the whale probably just saw like, because don't whales like eat krill? Like they're not gonna eat, they don't eat other
I
animals besides like a
I think
killer
yeah.
whale. But like a
Yeah.
blue whale, that motherfucker just eats krill, which is insane because
Yeah.
like that's a big boy behind you. That's a big boy, and they're eating krill? Crazy.
Imagine like how many pounds of krill they need.
Right? That's the gag of
A
it
lot of
all.
pounds.
A lot of pounds, but this motherfucker must have like felt it in its mouth. Like, how does it just all of a sudden be like, ugh, that's crazy.
Like, that's pointy, the
Yeah, it's
kayak.
like, ooh, what? I don't like this. I would have fucking died. Like, okay, now the question is, Have you heard those I don't know if they're real stories. Apparently this is the animal podcast. I don't know what the fuck's happening, but here we are. Have you heard the story of like the people that are like they get swallowed by a hippo and they survived and like the guy was in the hippo for like 3 days? Or like if you get
No.
swallowed by a whale, like would you die? Like let me look up the hippo one. Like would you die? Like you'd probably drown, right? In a whale?
But in the hippo, I mean, they're like they're known for being like dangerous and like I'm
Oh,
like
yeah.
chomping. Like I've seen videos of them crushing a fucking watermelon like by moving their mouth like 2 degrees.
Okay. Paul Templar was a tour guide who survived being swallowed by a hippo in the Zam, Zambezi, Zam, Zambezi River in 1996. Templar was conducting a photographic safari in Zimbabwe when the attack occurred. A guide pulled
Mhm.
Templar to safety in his kayak. So he was in a kayak. Again, to get out of the fucking kayaks, people.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but like, how do you, is it's just because their stomach is so big?
But how? Yeah, that's a two-part question. How long was he in there? And
Let's
I
look it up.
guess
That's so scary. That's so scary. Like, what?
yeah. Well, I'm like, was he in there for like 1 to 3 business days? Like, well, what are we talking?
Not business days. Let's see. How did he survive? Okay, we saw that. Uh, advice: stay away from hippos. No shit.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, there was another guy. There was Ronald Cherry. A holiday of a lifetime in Zambia almost ended in tragedy when a hippo hit a couple's canoe and flipped them over, dragging 63-year-old Ronald Cherry into the depths before tossing him into the air. Well, that wasn't being swallowed. Well, let's see. Guy swallowed in hippo. That's crazy, you guys. That's crazy. It's
That is
crazy.
crazy.
He said, I remember just lying at the bottom. No, Paul Templar. Okay. Just lying at the bottom of the river, looking up, and I'm waist deep in the hippo's mouth. Okay, so maybe he was pulled out of the hippo, swallowed by
Oh.
a hippo and ripped apart. Okay, so maybe the headline is that like he was swallowed by a hippo, but like I
Mhm.
think he was just in the hippo and somebody saved him. But still,
Mm.
I don't need to be looking down and being like, holy fuck, I'm in a hippo.
Mhm.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me. So back to that original
No.
question. Do you think you would drown if you were in a whale? Like, can you survive? Let me look that up. Can you survive being swallowed by a whale?
I think it just depends how long you're in there.
Oh, that's so
Like,
true.
if you're going down the digestive tract, you probably will burn because of the stomach
Oh,
acid, you know?
that's crazy. Yeah, you're right. You're so
Like,
right.
you could probably like he was swallowed, but he
He
was
was just
mouthed.
in the mouth, like in
He was
that
mouthed.
little, yeah.
Like,
Oh my God.
yeah, he wasn't swallowed. He was mouthed.
You're right. He was mouthed. You're so right. That's like one time I was at like this fall festival thing, and this lady was drinking lemonade or cider, and there was a bee inside of the cup, and I saw the whole thing go down. She did this and then
Ah!
spit it out because she obviously felt it moving around. So that's essentially what happened with the whale. He felt this motherfucker moving around, and he's like, "Whoa, wow, wow, wow." Okay, before we move on, what would you rather experience? Okay, being
Go
half
on.
of your body being in the hippo and being pulled out, or being swallowed or in mouthed by a whale for a few seconds.
I think mouthed by a whale because I don't think he really sustained any damage. A hippo, that'd
Right.
probably fuck your legs up.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right. Oh, you
Like
would develop
long-term
you would have
damage.
trauma regardless.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
you would be messed up for quite a few months,
No, I'd be
years.
unwell, like forever unwell. Bitch, I'm scared to like be in an elevator. You think I like could survive like being mouthed by a whale?
Yeah, no.
No, 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 no. So
Mhm.
that is the animal segment of the show. They have made breaking news this week. Two fantastic stories in 1 week. A story of a heartwarming and heartbreaking story of triumph and self-love and perseverance, and
Mhm.
then a dumb fuck being mouthed by a whale.
Mhm.
Which Could happen to anybody. It won't ever happen to me because you'll never catch me in that situation, but it could happen to anybody, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, I have a good hot list to hate and also some feedback we got on our latest guest episode with Mare.
That feedback was fire.
Are
I
we
got
talking
a
about the
couple.
same feedback?
I think so.
Oh, you got a couple?
Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah. Go.
Oh, hot list to hate. Let's do that first. Sorry. I was just like
It's always so awkward on Zoom because I don't know if you're frozen sometimes or like
no,
you
I'm
don't want
really
to
good at
interrupt
sitting
people.
still.
It's so funny. Okay. Hot list to hate.
Hot
Let's
list to
get
hate.
it.
So, my knee journey. I had to get my knees aspirated. And if you're like, what is that? It's when they stick a needle in your knees and take out the fluid. And we don't know exactly why there was fluid buildup. I'm getting that tested, which that's a funny story in itself, getting that tested. But I had to get them aspirated. And the PA, I don't know why, newspaper?
I'm trying to find like a good background. Oh, here's one. Because we're
Needles?
adding to the hot list of hate. Hold on, here we go. We're adding to the hot list of
Gotcha.
hate.
I need to know background to needles, but I'm not gonna do that right now. And I don't know why when any doctor is like, "Oh, I'm gonna do the procedure," and then a PA walks in and they're like, "Hi, I'm here." I'm like, "Why did the doctor tell me they were gonna do it?" Nonetheless, I'm like, "Okay,
Okay.
keep your story straight. Why are we changing up people?" Anywho, she's like, "Okay, we're going to numb it and then we'll pull out the liquid or the fluid." And so I was like, "Oh, numbing spray, like, fantastic." And she's like, "How are you with needles?" I'm like, "I mean, I'm not like I've gotten so much blood work from being sick, like, I'm
Yeah.
trained. Does not mean I don't wince and does not mean I do not look. I don't look. I'm looking that away. I am
Oh,
having
really?
a Oh, I don't look. I'm having a conversation with the nurse, whoever. I am keeping my mind occupied, not thinking about the needle going in. So I'm like, "I'm okay, I just need to talk." And she's okay. And then she starts doing the spray, like to
Prep
freeze
the
the
area.
area,
Yep.
to numb it, to numb it. And I'm like, "Oh, this is nice." And then it kept going. And then it kept going. And I'm like, she is numbing, like numbing
Oh,
that
you're
area.
scared now.
Yes. So I'm putting two and two together. I go, "That's a lot of numbing
You're like,
spray."
ugh,
And
this
she goes,
might really
"Yeah."
hurt.
Yep. And she's like, "Yeah, it's a bigger needle, so we gotta make sure." I go, "Bigger needle." I'm so glad I didn't look. It felt like a fucking brick. Boom. It's into your knee. Into the
Like
fucking knee.
into the kneecap,
Like, not the bone, like,
but
in the
like
j I don't even know how to explain
under.
it. I don't even know.
Ooh,
I see the
oof.
I can, like, see the hole, like, it was
Oh, that is bizarre.
big.
That is a bit, yeah.
It was a big fucking needle,
Like,
and I don't know, but it was big. It
oh, you
was
didn't
not
look at it. Right, 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 right,
yeah,
right.
it was not like getting blood work done. Like,
No,
that's a little
yeah.
baby needle. Like,
Well,
this
because they
was
had
a
to pull
fucking
out a fuck ton of fluid, so like you got to be efficient.
so not only did I have to get it once, I had to do it twice, so one on each
Oh,
side. It was fucking terrible. I pray to God I do not need them aspirated ever again, but that was my hot
this
list
was
to hate
Maddie.
is but honestly
Go to
honestly,
YouTube, guys. Kind of hot, kind of healthy on YouTube. Go and
literally
check it out
going
because we're
there.
really funny with our virtual backgrounds.
It was
Oh.
so painful, and then they're
Would
like,
you
"We
say
need
that's
to
like
get"
the
okay.
most painful procedure type thing you've ever done?
Um, yes, I did okay, whenever do we can we get taken down for talking about the panty D?
Um, People
Was
know
that
what
like
you're talking about. I think you might get flagged, but like 2020, the panty, you guys know what we're talking about.
yeah. So when I got the panty D, I was able to get before they took them away, those shots to help
Yeah.
your whatever they were called, I can't remember. So I went and got them and it was 6. 1, 2,
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, like 6 shots, and that was fucking terrible because it kinda
Mm.
burned, and it was 6 fucking times.
Oh, yeah,
But
yep.
my recovery in 12 hours, I was a whole different person. I was like, "Can I get these every week?" Like, it was actually
Honestly,
it was a
slay.
sleigh. It was I
Yeah.
have was like a new person. But anyway,
Wow.
yeah, I would say yeah, because I got my adenoids removed. Don't remember that pain.
Oh, me too.
Um, oh, twins. Um, I haven't gotten anything, knock on wood,
Knock on wood.
in so that was probably, like, one of the most painful things,
Yeah. Oof.
like, procedures, yeah, that
Yeah.
oh, I would
Oof.
say a close second would be when I was on Humira and before they came out with a non-burning medication of Humira, it
Mm,
used to
mm.
burn, and the first time I had my injection, no one told me it burned, and I cried for, like, 5 hours
Oh
straight.
God, you probably thought you were like dying too. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I wasn't prepared for it, and you have to keep it in for, like, 10 seconds. Well,
Oh, that's offensive.
well, I'm Mississippi. She's
Right.
Mississippi.
Because you
Like,
inject it like kind of like an EpiPen or something. Like it's a big tube
um,
and you push down, right?
yeah, kinda, but you have to, like, pinch your skin,
Pinch
and,
the
like, I
fat. Yeah.
mm, and I never gave myself one injection in the 7.5 years I took it.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. I
Never.
mean, honestly, if you can have somebody else do it, it just kind of just makes it
Yeah,
easier. Ooh,
yeah.
that
So, yeah, but
sucks.
that's a close second. But, yeah, so that's my hot list to hate, getting that done because that fucking hurt twice, not once, twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like okay. I actually am okay with needles. Like I kind of like the pain. Um, it's just more like
Being
the
messy.
it's kind of just the anticipation of like doing it, but like I don't actually really have an issue with it. The only time that it really hurt, I was in high school and I used to get really bad sinus infections like once a year where like I like was hospitalized. Like tell me like why? Like nor
Ooh.
every year. Like not nor this was me literally dying. Um so I had gone back to the ER like with my mom and I'm like so dehydrated. I'm like delulu crazy. Like I'm like don't know which way is up. I'm like all over the place.
Ugh.
And they needed to give me an IV because I like obviously was so dehydrated. And the nurse, like, because I was so dehydrated, I had like no veins. Like, the nurse was trying to put
Ah,
it in, and I had already been to the
uh-huh.
hospital. So, like, they couldn't do my arm, they couldn't do this arm. So, they were like, okay, we'll either do your hands. If we can't do your hands, we'll have to do your foot because, like, I literally was like, so no veins. So, she fished for like, I don't
Oh,
know how long. I blacked out. I passed out from pain. And
oh,
my mom was like, "You need to stop." And my mom she works in radiology. So she's like, "You
that's
don't need to."
Allie.
That was literally me.
She's sick.
Literally me. I was like dead. My mom was like, "I don't want you getting another nurse. I'm going to do it." And so my mom just did it because
Wow.
she knows what
Good.
she's doing. And she like
Oh,
they like she kind of like slapped me and like woke me up. She's like, "You're fine, you're fine." And I go, that I was like, "Do not do that again." I was like, "I can't handle that. That was literally
oh,
crazy." And so my mom's like, "All right, I'm just gonna put the tourniquet on really, really tight, and it's going to feel like your arm is going to pop off, but I promise like it's not gonna be bad." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And the nurse, she felt awful, which like fair enough, but my mom was like, "Do not tell anybody about this. I will not tell anybody that you did such a terrible job, but I am going to do it." And I was like, if that's not like mom energy, then like truly what
amazing.
is? Like I was like, that was crazy. But my whole hand, like there was like
Ah,
an insane bruise.
stop.
It was terrible. I
Oh.
like, and my blood pressure was so high. Like the doctor came in and he like looked at it because they were trying to send me home, and he was like, so we're just gonna, we're waiting on a couple of things. And because he's like looking at the monitor and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? Like, why is her blood pressure so fucking high? I was like,
Oh.
KO. So damn, but I've never, I mean, not only was it was like temporary, but it only happened once. So like when you do something painful, but you have to do it twice, you already know the pain and you're like, oh, dude,
Mhm.
but you did it. You're a warrior. You survived.
I am warrior.
And they
We
took
have
a
survived.
lot of shit out.
Oh, I don't even know if I wanna show the picture, it was so gross. But yeah, 50 4 ounces in
CCs.
my one knee. Yeah, I've literally got fucking breast implants taken out of my knees.
When you think about it like that,
Mhm.
that's wild. I didn't really think it was like terribly gross looking. I think it's just the concept of like that was in my knee is that's kind
I
of crazy.
know. I
Dude,
know. I really yeah, so I ordered I have what's it called socks on for
compression?
I have compression socks on, like, up to my knee, and then I
Hmm.
have literally a elbow knee sleeve on the one side because I only had one knee sleeve, so an elbow, and then I have an actual knee sleeve on the other, but I just ordered long ass
Yeah.
ones for your legs.
Oh, good.
Um, so I'm doing that, I'm icing my knees, like, 3 times a day, elevating, I should be elevating right now, but yes, we were doing all the precautionary things,
Yeah.
so just crossing our fingers it does not come back.
Right. Oh, man. You really are out here doing the most. And we've talked about this before, but like only you could do it. Like there are a lot of people that would just be like, fuck this. I will just go about my life and be kind of in pain or unhappy. But you're over here like, bring it the fuck on. Like you are, let me pull up another picture. You are over here like, let's get a good one. This is you. You're a warrior.
Why is he ginger?
I don't know. I typed in warrior and that was the first thing that came up. There's like some
Uh,
other crazy ass pictures that I feel like are probably not YouTube appropriate. Um,
mm,
so here,
like
I'll put this one up.
gladiator.
Yeah, here, this one's like
Yeah,
really
there
good.
we go.
Yeah, that's
That's a
that
good
is
one.
you in the face of adversity. You say, "Fuck you, I'm doing this." So that's pretty iconic. Is there anything else on the hot list I hate?
No, that's all
Nah.
we hating on.
Yeah, honestly, and that's a good week. You know, if we're not hating on too much, you know what? Shout out. For podcast feedback about Mare's episode.
Yes.
What were you chat about that?
Yeah, I just got some feedback. I had a couple ladies who wanted the link for it from in my Facebook group, but good feedback. They loved it. They felt like they were more empowered after hearing
Mm.
about it because it was, if you haven't listened to it, go back 2 episodes. But do we like do like a full debrief about what we thought about it?
We no, not really so much because
Yeah.
you know what, guys, the way we do our guest episodes, Maddie and I come on here and we do a little intro, right? And then we do the interview and then we end the podcast where what we did previously was we would record the episode and then come on and do a little debrief. But I think doing a debrief after the episode has been out and hearing what people think, I think that's also great too. So why don't we
Mm.
kind of talk about that right now?
Yeah. It a few women told me they felt empowered. And that was kind of like
Mm,
how we were talking about after and even in the end of the episode with talking with Mare, I felt more empowered. Like menopause isn't such a scary thing.
yep.
Um, in the rate, like I feel empowered for two things. One, hearing from her experience going through it, medically induced menopause, crazy story. Again, you need to go listen to it if you haven't, no
Yeah.
matter your age. And two, like even 3 things. 2, our science is moving. Women's health, I feel like, is moving at fucking rocket speed
The
because
trajectory is on that
we are
upswing.
catching up. Yeah, we're catching up from all the years that they, like, literally would fucking make tampons and test it on, like, fucking Jello, not even, like, menstrual blood. Like, I don't know what they tested it on, but it wasn't menstrual
Some
blood.
blue ass solution.
Yeah, not even menstrual fucking blood. So I think excuse me, science is moving so fast. So that gives me a lot of hope to like all the things that we can do and knowing that it's not like we're going to shrivel up and die, you know? And also like
Yeah.
I know the options. I know more of the options that are available. And the third thing, which I cannot remember what the third thing was, but yeah, I just left feeling more empowered. Like I have more information, there's
Mm,
more science, technology, resources, help, more women's health doctors focus on women's health, pushing the needle forward for us. So I felt really empowered
yeah.
after that.
I agree. It's a lot of the fear or the concern comes from not knowing and lack of options. And for a lot of women that are experiencing menopause now or have already experienced it, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, etc., there is just this stigma that like you're past your prime. You might as well just like get fucking comfortable being overweight and this is who you are now, all this sort of stuff. And like if you even like look back at like the Golden Girls, like the television show, those women were supposed to be like 50s or 60s, something like that. And they look like legit 80-year-old grandmas. Like they look very old.
Yeah,
And so just even
yeah.
the way that women are perceived now, like in TV shows and on reality shows, like they are so much more youthful because there's
Mhm,
more options. And now we don't have to just settle for my life is over. Ah, I'm 50. I'm past my prime. Now you are like,
mhm,
no, I'm fucking in my 50s. I'm in my 60s. I make good money. I can travel. I can take care of myself and I feel fucking good. Like, are you going to look
mhm,
like a 20-year-old? No, because you're 50, right? But
mhm,
what Mare was talking about is just like so many options of what you can do and how you can advocate for yourself. And it
mhm.
doesn't have to be this chapter of your life that you are dreading
Yeah.
because like guys don't go through that. They're never thinking
No,
like
they're like silver fox.
yeah, they're a silver fox, or if they start to lose their hair, they can get a transplant, they can fucking put some Rogaine on it, they'll take testosterone, like all of these different things. And that's just so much more of like
Accepted.
accepted and just kind of like it's there. It like how do I know
Mhm.
that as a 27-year-old woman? How do I know about all of these things? You know what I
I
mean? Because it's
I know.
out there, like it's there. But I loved that conversation, and she was
Yeah.
so open with her experience. And
Yeah.
truthfully, those are the type of women or guests we like to have on the podcast, people that are willing to be so candid because we like being candid as well and just being raw because truthfully
Mhm,
I believe that's how you get to these incredible conversations and it leaves us feeling empowered and educated, and then it does that for our viewers as well. It does that for you guys because how
mhm.
many of you knew about hormone replacement therapy like when you're going through menopause? You
I
know?
mean, the only way that I knew it was demonized. It was bad. It was equals
Mm.
breast cancer, you know? So, like, that was really good
Yep.
to talk to her
Yep.
about that. Like, we even said, like, "Slap it on once, like, we need it." Like, I'm all for
Literally.
helping, assisting my body and whatever I need, but
And
yeah, I mean, it's
it really is an assistance
uh-huh.
because I think some people are like, I don't want to put extra stuff into my body. And it's like, it's already naturally occurring. Like it's
Yeah,
there. It's just
yeah.
really what the word is, replacement. It's kind of like the
Mhm,
same way you think about a supplement. Like, ideally, we would want to get all of your protein through whole foods. But if you work an insane job and you're busier and you meal prep, but sometimes like shit happens, you can rely on a
mhm,
protein shake. And that
mhm,
doesn't mean that that's not the best option. It's like, okay, well, that's the best option available for you right now. It's replacing that. It's bridging that gap. And so I think having more conversations like this, and you're right, like science kind of being on the upswing for women's health and just like
mhm,
cutting out the bullshit of fear mongering.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Like, I'm sorry. The only way I knew about hormone replacement therapy was Real Housewives of New Jersey, Siggy
Oh.
Flicker, but she was so annoying. We called her the ladies on the show, they called her Soggy Flicker because like she was always fucking crying and just being so dramatic. But she got pellets in her butt. And I was like, what the
Mhm,
hell are pellets in your butt? But it was like
mhm,
hormone replacement. And so that's like literally
mhm,
the only time I've heard about it on like popular media.
mm.
Like the mainstream media of like women talking about hormone replacement therapy. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So if you guys want to listen to that episode, it is I believe episode 69, so it would be two back, or 68,
Yep.
excuse me, episode 68. But it was really good. Oh man.
Was it 60? I thought it was 69.
Nope.
Maybe I had
Maybe prove me wrong. I might be wrong.
let's see, back to the top. Yep, 68.
Yeah, because I'm always right, you guys.
Yeah, so go back, listen to it. We want to do a part two with her. So if you have extra more questions, specific things you want us to hit on with her, 100% will.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely have a really good topic. It's when you were saying like, we come on here to and we want to have guests that are real and raw and all those things.
Mm,
But definitely next episode, I want us to talk about health, your health journey not being linear because it
mm.
is never truly linear. I'm a great example of that. I was just talking to a client about that today. But definitely want to talk about that for next week. I'll put it in my notes. Um,
Yeah. I think
anything
that's
else?
really, well, I think it's really important because we were talking about last night how coaches need to be ever evolving. And that just
Mhm,
speaks to our own health journeys and where we have been and where we're at. And I would love to dive into this deeper in next week's episode. Um,
mhm,
but we have just come really far. And maybe we started at this place where like we were in a really good position and then life happens and then you kind of have to come back to that good place. And that will continue to happen, you guys. Like just because you're in a good place right now, it doesn't mean that like shit isn't going to happen. Like things
mhm,
are always going to get thrown at you. You can plan the best that you can, but sometimes you are going to need to learn how to pivot. Um
mhm.
and I think if there are coaches listening to it, if you're like a new coach out there and you're like, maybe you're resistant to the idea of like, I'm never going to change. Like, hello, I was that coach when I first started. I was like, I will never dive deeper into blah, 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 blah. I was like, I will stay here where I'm at. And it's like, bitch, you're so naive because I have changed the type of energy with the women I work with and what I do. And I'm sure you can relate to that as well. But like, if you're
Yep.
not ever evolving, you are leaving so much potential just like on the floor.
If you're not evolving, you're dying, you're falling behind. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like even like me talking about like my goal for like my 29th year, like
Yeah.
the idea of being reactive and non-reactive was not on my radar like 5 years ago.
No, God, no.
No. I look back and I'm like, "Wow, like I was reactive." Like
I was a
highly like
crazy bitch. Like, I'm not even, I will be so for real crazy. And that's, I mean, are we proud of it? Not necessarily, but did we grow from it? Absolutely. And we can be proud of that growth.
100%. And like and also it's like another thing for me is like seeing, becoming aware of
Yeah.
things and then not automatically shaming yourself for all those years you weren't
Oh,
aware
yeah.
and then what you were doing. That's hard for me too. I'm like, I
Okay.
can't believe I was doing that for all these years." I'm like, why are we shaming ourselves? Like most people aren't even fucking awake. Like they never like become aware. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
light years ahead. So, yeah, I mean, I I'm like you said, like we become different. I mean, the more we grow, the better we are coaches, the better we can, talk to clients and work with them and find different ways to attack problems and
Mm,
all those things. And like without growing, like you are staying stagnant is my fear. I'm like, I need to be
yeah.
growing. And that's also a whole nother thing in itself. But that's on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't fuck with stagnant energy in my business, in my home, in relationships. Like if things feel stagnant, then I'm very aware of that. Like I'll kind of be like, "Oh, this is a funky energy. What can we do?"
Mhm,
And sometimes like in the home, maybe it's decluttering. In the relationships, maybe, with your friends or a partner or whatever, it's like, "Hey, let's do something fun. Like let's do like a fun date night. Let's do something out of our routine. Let's
mhm.
do whatever." Like in business, like you have to fucking look around at like, am I cool with how things are operating right now? No,
Mhm.
I'm not. Are things feeling stagnant? Do I need changes? And like it goes across the board. And I think that's something we should all be paying attention to in this year, and I think it is so topical, like when we're around our birthday, it's like taking inventory of like what is vibing, what is not, where do I want to clean up some like stagnant energy. Um,
Mhm.
and it just makes it like really fun to see your personal growth and development. Like I when I turned 23, it was during the panty. I never would imagine being here at 27. I'm almost 28. I would have never imagined, like, never in my fucking wildest dreams. So I think that's really cool. I get really introspective around birthdays. I usually cry a lot. I used to hate my birthday because it's just like,
Really?
it's the expectation of it all. Like on my 21st birthday, I should write an email about this. Um, Went to blowout bar, got a blowout, fucking hated it. It looked awful. She did not get it was like fucking curled. I hated it. Went to dinner or lunch in the seaport, got drinks. It was like so fun to like use my ID like legally for the first time. I was like flashing it to everybody because I was like, haha, I'm not worried about it not scanning. And then we went to my parents' house. All my friends, we were going out, whatever. I felt so fat. I was like, I feel insecure. I hate this outfit that I'm wearing. I hate my
Mhm.
hair. I think it was really just I was like having I was very close to having a panic attack, which I didn't really know I had a panic disorder at the time. Um, and we got in the Uber and I'm just like bawling. I'm hyperventilating. I'm losing my shit. We like pull up to the club and I'm like, I need to go home. And
Mhm.
so James came home with me. And I like cried myself to sleep on my 21st birthday. Don't know why. Like,
Mm.
so I was almost scarred by that. And then every year after, it has gotten better. But like last year or 2 years ago was like the first time I was excited. Like last year, I was fucking
Mhm.
stoked. We went to Montreal. I launched something on my birthday and it got really like received well. And then this year, I'm just like, bitch, I'm getting married. Like, this is the year of like excitement. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, birthdays are fun. You know what? 6 months from now, we're going to do a birthday update with you. Where are the things? What's going on? And that's really exciting. I love that. Oh, man, I'm over here telling I'm loving my own topic and conversation. I'm gagged. I'm gagged.
But yeah, so but when by the time this comes out, we would have celebrated my birthday. My dad's
Yeah.
birthday was on the 11th, so we always do ours together.
Oh, that's fun. Are you gonna
But
get
we're
a
going
good cheesecake this year?
Oh my God, I love that you remember that. No, we are doing one even better. We're going with my mom, my dad, my uncle, and we're going to a really good Italian restaurant that
Oh,
like very, very good, known for being spectacular. And then we're going to Con Alma after for dessert and
is that
jazz.
the jazz? Oh, dude, that's like
Mhm.
your ideal. That's an ideal night.
I know. I'm excited.
Oh, and they do the pasta in like the big cheese like wheel. Oh, you got to get
Yep.
pictures. Oh my God. That's
Oh, I
so
for sure
fun.
will.
Oh, duh. I live for content.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, honestly.
Oh my God. Honestly. Well, that is it for me. Are you still dropping your birthday deal when this comes out?
No, you bitches lost out, sorry.
Slay.
Slay. Where is our my notes that has there it is, the outro. Ready?
Yep, there
Ready?
we go.
Ready?
Yep, yep.
Thank you guys so much for listening and watching Kinda Hot, Kinda Healthy. Please make sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share this with your girlfriend who needs to hear this. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere where you can stream podcasts. If you have a burning question about life, friends, health, and 1 or 2 cents, email us at kindahatpod@gmail.com. That's KINDAHOTPOD at gmail.com. Bye.
Bye.